Imagine a peace treaty between two empires. The victors don't demand gold, they don't demand territory, they demand a book. In the 9th century, Baghdad negotiated a treaty with Constantinople that required the Byzantine Empire to lend a copy of Ptolemy's Great Geography. Knowledge was so valued, it was treated as a strategic asset on par with land and the treasure. That treaty wasn't an isolated incident. It was part of something much bigger, a deliberate state-funded campaign to gather the world's knowledge. The Abbasid Caliphate, centered on the newly built city of Baghdad, was one of the wealthiest and most powerful states in the world by the 9th century. But wealth alone doesn't create a golden age. The caliphs made a deliberate decision to invest in knowledge. They funded a massive, systematic program of translating Greek, Persian, and Indian texts into Arabic. This wasn't a hobby, it was state policy. Scholars were recruited from across the empire, paid handsomely, and organized into teams. Texts on science, geography, mathematics, philosophy, and medicine were the priority. In 830, this program was institutionalized. The Caliph al-Ma'mun established the House of Wisdom, Bayt al-Hikma in Arabic, a combination of library, translation bureau, and research institute. Think of it as a prototype of the modern research university. Scholars there didn't just translate and store old texts. They conducted original investigations. One team attempted to measure the circumference of the Earth. They sent surveyors into the desert to pace out distances while tracking the angle of the sun. Their estimate came remarkably close to the actual figure. The House of Wisdom wasn't preserving dead knowledge. It was generating new knowledge. But the scholars of the House of Wisdom weren't interested in everything the Greeks had to offer. They were remarkably selective. And their choices tell us something fascinating. They translated Euclid's Elements, the foundational text of geometry. They translated Dioscorides' Pharmaceutical Manual, a practical catalogue of drugs, their properties, their sources, and their curative applications. They translated Ptolemy's Astronomy and Aristotle's Philosophy. Notice the pattern: science, mathematics, medicine, philosophy, all practical, all systematic. Now notice what they didn't translate: Greek plays, Greek epic poetry, Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, Sophocles, Euripides. They left almost all of Greek literature untouched. This wasn't a gap in their program, it was a conscious choice. They didn't need Greek literature because they already possessed one of the richest literary traditions in the world. Consider the Arabian Nights, their vast collection of stories drawn from Persian, Indian, and homegrown Arabic storytelling traditions. Tales within tales, frame narratives, magical realism centuries before the term existed. Or consider the Qasida, the classical Arabic ode, a sophisticated poetic form with strict meter and rhyme that poets had been perfecting for generations. Arabic and Persian literature wasn't just adequate, it was extraordinary. The Abbasid scholars looked at Greek drama and poetry and made a rational calculation. We don't need this. We need their science. One word captures the entire journey of knowledge from the ancient world to the modern one. Ptolemy's astronomical masterwork was originally titled Mathematics Syntaxis in Greek, meaning the mathematical compilation. When Arabic translators got hold of it, they combined the Greek word for greatest with an Arabic article and produced Al-Majesty. Centuries later, when European scholars translated it from Arabic into Latin, they garbled it further into Al-Majest. One book, 3 languages, 3 civilizations. Each time the title changed, but the knowledge survived. So what happened to all this translated, preserved, and expanded knowledge? It didn't stay in Baghdad, it flowed outward. Arabic translations reached Islamic Spain, Al-Andalus, where European scholars encountered them. Those scholars translated the Arabic text into Latin, and that knowledge spread across medieval Europe. Without this deliberate Abbasid program, much of Greek science might have been lost entirely. When European scholars later rediscovered classical knowledge during the Renaissance, they were often reading Latin translations of Arabic translations of Greek originals. The House of Wisdom was a critical link in that chain, not a passive repository, but an active engine of preservation, translation, and innovation. State-funded investment in knowledge, translation, research, institutional support can produce civilizational dividends that last centuries. The Abbasid model shows that golden ages are built, not born. They require deliberate choices, sustained funding, and institutions designed to outlast any single ruler. It all started with a peace treaty that demanded not gold, not land, but a book. The single demand helped preserve knowledge that shaped the modern world.